All right. Well, hello and welcome. Thanks so much for joining us on today's session. We're going to be talking all about Google Maps, also known as the local 3-pack or the local map pack, and what it takes to get ranked on the Google Maps in your service area for your most important auto-related keywords. So getting ranked on Google Map Pack in your area must be a part of your overall internet marketing strategy. If you think about how we can really maximize your lead flow via the internet, we need to nail the basics. Like, we want to have a good website that's built to convert. And then we want to make sure that it's ranking in the maps and the organic listings. It's coming up where your customers and potential customers are searching for you. And then we want to put some rocket fuel behind it. And you want to be running paid search by putting retargeting in place so you can reconnect with the people that have already been to your website and keep your brand fresh in their minds, especially those that don't convert. This is what we call our digital dominance method, this screen that you're looking at here. It's the big picture to really maximize your lead flow on the internet. This came together, by the way, by looking at all the top shops in the nation, what they had in common. So those 8 things that were on that slide. In January, we conducted your 2024 Internet Marketing Plan workshop, which we went over how to set your new financial goals for the year and then work backwards from there to see how many new leads per month you'll need, what your average cost per lead is, what you would need to have in budget, et cetera, et cetera. So we talked about SEO on that webinar a little bit also, and specifically how to set up your website to rank organically. And then in February, this was our most popular one so far, how to get your website to convert. They proved that 20 to 50% of traffic to your website goes unconverted. So what is the most latest information available on how to get a website to maximize at its very highest? So it was in that workshop. Now in March, we produced a 2024 SEO formula. Does SEO or search engine optimization still matter? And if so, how can you capitalize on the latest strategies? So today we're going deep on Google Maps. To be clear, you don't just do Google Maps in a vacuum. You don't do any digital marketing in a vacuum. You don't do just one thing. You do Google Maps as part of your holistic overall strategy to truly maximize your lead flow. And if you want to go back and access any of these other trainings, just reach out to me at info@autorepairseo.com. That's info@autorepairseo.com. And I'll send you any or all 3 of these valuable trainings and informative workshops. And then we want to make sure that we're leveraging lead automation follow-up software to convert the leads that we get at the highest level possible, as well as take your one-time customer and leverage email and SMS to turn them into repeat buyers that do business with you again and again. So some ground rules before we get started. Please, let's turn off cell phones. Let's close out our Facebook. Let's give this our undivided attention and focus. You've decided to be here on this training to hear what the latest is in Google Maps. So just get in the zone, close the tabs, close out of the other windows, and just focus on this directly. Give me a 1 in the comments if you're good with these rules of engagement. Taryn, 1, thanks. James, appreciate it. We really want to make this as interactive as possible. In other words, I want you to walk away from the time that you're taking out of your valuable day. I want you to walk away with actionable steps that you can do on your own to improve your Google Map rankings, okay? So I really believe that you understand the way Google Map Pack works. You understand what you can do to tweak your Google Map strategy, and you start to rank better on maps. It's going to make you a lot of money and the time is well worth it. We've seen phone calls increase between 80% and over 300% once a shop lands in the local map pack. It's really crazy. It's across the board. Is there anybody here that does not understand what the local map pack or 3-pack is? Does everybody understand what that is? So when you do a search, Google gives you 3 potentials in the local map pack. Okay, so everybody understands what it is. Good. All right, so here's what we're going to dive into on today's session. We're going to talk about the latest changes with map listings. And like I said, the Google Maps are constantly changing. What used to work before could actually be hurting you today. So we're going to talk about what the latest and greatest is, okay? Then we're going to talk about 5 things that can actually be preventing you from ranking. I've heard shop owners say, hey, I used to rank number 1 for all this stuff, and now I don't. What happened? Well, there are 5 potential things we found that could really be pulling your rankings down in Google Maps. So we're going to show you those and what you need to do to get around them, all right? And then we're going to show you our proven 3-step process for getting ranked in the Google Map Pack. And I'm going to share some of my favorite tools to systemize and automize the heavy lifting. Like I said, my goal is that you walk away from today's session with some very specific actionable steps that you can take to improve your map pack rankings. Now, so before we dive in all the way, really quick, who am I? Why should you listen? I've been in the business since 2009. I'm the author of 2 books, The Ultimate SEO Guide for Automotive Service Businesses, How to Triple Your Sales in Record Time, and then Triple Your Sales and Grow Your Business, The Ultimate Internet Marketing Guide to Grow Your Business Online. My parent company is Advanced Digital Media Services, and we are Google's top-ranked SEO company in the state of Florida, Colorado, Utah now, and definitely the Caribbean, because I'm a diver. We aren't the biggest company by far, but what does set us apart is we thought it'd be a really good idea for us to rank our company for our own targeted keywords before we went to the marketplace to help shop owners like you rank you for your keywords. If that makes sense to anyone, give me one in the comments. And by the way, that was my wife's idea. She said, why don't we rank ourselves first on Google for our keywords before we go talking to customers about how to rank them for theirs? That was the smartest thing that we ever did. So anyway, we have some great resources for you. And one of them is the Top Shop podcast, where we interview industry leaders in the automotive space, and which is what actually a lot of other podcasters do. But we do something different. We look for auto repair shop owners that have been in business for 10 years or more and interview them. Why 10 years? Because research shows that 80% of shops fail within the first 5 years, and another 80% of those shops fail in the second 5 years. So an auto repair shop owner that's been in business 10 years or longer has proven that they are successful by standing the test of time, and their insights and experience are extremely beneficial to other shop owners. And then I'll just throw this in too. It's not in my notes, but there's a lot of shop owners that are retiring. So if anybody listening to this podcast right now knows of a shop owner that's been in business over 10 years, please tell them to go to Top Shop Podcast and request to be an interview guest. My goal is to get 100 shop owners that are retiring and record their experiences and expertise for posterity. Okay, so if you guys can list that are on this workshop with me, can help me out with that, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, next, we are the issuer of the Golden Wrench Award, recognizing people who have contributed greatly to the automotive industry. So we look closely at the industry, and we saw that there's a lot of individuals that have really dedicated their life to this industry and have contributed significantly. And therefore, we provide the Golden Wrench Award to select individuals that meet our criteria and make it through our selection process. You know, Mary Steele, the executive director of Automotive Management Institute. Sherry Hamilton is on our radar screen with Vision and Milwaukee. So if you know anybody or you want to nominate yourself or someone else, please go to Golden Wrench Award. And, I'll toss that link in the chat right now. A lot of times people work really hard in their careers. They're executive directors, presidents of associations or trade groups. And you know what? They really appreciate the acknowledgement of their contributions. And this is a great way for us to contribute to the automotive community. So I'm going to share with you in this workshop, it's not based on theory. This is based on my experience of working with auto repair shops just like yours and what's worked best to get them results. So what I'm going to go through in this session is I'm going to show you live examples, and I'm going to show you where they rank, and I'm going to show you some results. We also belong, this is an aside, I ought to throw this into the workshop here. We belong to a mastermind group of 250 agency owners in North America. It's a very exclusive group, and it's stupidly expensive every single month just for the membership dues. But we meet in Miami every 3 months, and it's 250 owners of digital marketing companies in every type of niche imaginable. And guess what? We all share information. And much of the information that we have gleaned in this workshop comes through that mastermind group that we belong to. And we are there is one other competitor that we have in this market that's in that group, but there's only 2 in the entire United States that are in the automotive repair. And I think before we can even talk about the how about Google Maps, we need to spend a little bit of time just evaluating, does Google Maps still matter? And you might wonder that because you've noticed the search engine results, the listings have changed a lot. It used to just be the paid listings came up before Google Maps and then the organic listings. So the question is, does it still matter? Is it even worth spending the time? Is, as they say, the juice worth the squeeze? Well, here's what our mastermind group and the industry has found. More than 44% of the clicks and the calls are coming in directly from people clicking on the Google Map. And I'd love to hear from you when you look for a service, maybe not your service, maybe you're looking for a house cleaning service or someone to come clean your car. Do you click on the paid listings at the top? Do you click on the local service ads? Or do you click on the maps? Do you click on the organic? If you could, in the chat, just put LSA, maps, organic, or paid in the chat. I mean, this is just personally when you guys are doing a couple more popped in here. Let those organic, Yep, organic typically. Yep, Bonnie, organic. So anybody else? Does everyone know what LSA or local service ads are? Give me a yes or a no. If you don't know what a local service ad, okay, you do. Taryn, you know? Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. Google has denied the auto repair industry these ads. But if you own a shop in Florida or California, you can take advantage of LSA ads as Google is testing the waters in those two states. Google's moved things. They're adding to their paid ad products by making more money on the pay-per-click. But still, somehow or another, the consumers still want to click on the maps. They want to see the reviews. They want to see where they're clicking and who they're calling. We see more than 44% of the traffic comes through that specific channel, Google Maps. So yes, without question, it's worth the energy and attention to really get this dialed in. And when you rank in the top 3, it will make a huge difference on your lead flow and your revenues. So I just want to show you an example of this. This is a client we work with in St. Petersburg, Florida, and we track all of our clients. We track really closely. How many visitors are they getting? How many calls are they getting? Where are the calls coming from? What are the impacts of the different rankings that we generate? And so for this client, we can see their overall internet marketing strategy. They generate 3,257 leads last month via the internet. Total investment of 4,300. That's management fees to us and pay-per-click and everything else. But what I want to draw your attention to here, and yes, they get 529 organic and pay-per-click and 556 from Bing, 594 from pay-per-click. But what I want to draw your attention to is 140 leads that came in from Google Maps. This is a good example of when you rank well on Maps. It'll generate a lot of leads and calls for your business. So give me a yes in the comments there if you would love to get another 140 plus calls per month from Google Maps. And remember, these are, yep, James, yep. And keep in mind, these are people that just search for your product. They just search for an auto repair shop in your city. Okay, and we've got Taryn, you already rank in your area. Awesome. So you want to rank for as many keywords as possible. The main one, Taryn, that you want to rank for is auto repair shop in your city, and then your city auto repair shop. But I'll get to that a little further into the thing. Another example, company that we work with in the Denver area is Man Cave. And again, I'll get into this deeper into the how, but I want you to understand the potential here when you rank well. And of course, it's not just that one search term, right? You want to rank for lots of search terms. So that was actually Taryn in my next paragraph. As you can see here, 6,600 marketing investment, 1,330 leads, some from organic, some from pay-per-click, but 197 from Google Maps. Can you successfully invest in digital marketing? And the long-term payoff is the organic leads, because 235 from organic, 197 from Google Maps. That's an additional 432 phone calls that are coming in per month just from those two sources. So again, I show you these kinds of examples just to hammer home the point. Yes, Google Maps really, really matter. And if you get your Google Map listing optimized and you position yourself following the strategies that I'm going to share with you in today's session, it can really position you for not just better rankings, but really more leads, more sales, more book jobs for you and for your text. So I want you to know what I'm going to show you matters. And we have a proven model to get the results. It's one thing to say, okay, here's what you do on Google Maps, but it's another thing to say, here's what we do and here's the results. All right. The other thing I want to make sure that those examples drive home for you is that you can't rely on paid search alone. A lot of us have already been programmed to think, well, it's all about paid search. Well, no, it's not. Remember, digital marketing is holistic. Google's looking at over 200 different things to rank websites alone. So the more that you do, the better it is. And then every single little thing that you do that your competition doesn't gives you the edge. A lot of people just think, hey, we just got to up our pay-per-click budget, or we got to spend more on paid search. When the reality is, and you've seen this in these examples, the lion's share of the leads is actually coming from organic search. And that's what you want. That's your goal, because when you invest in digital marketing, you want it to pay you dividends like a bank account or like a stock portfolio year after year. And that's exactly what organic does. Once you really get ranked in that organic, then you start getting all that traffic and you've already invested in it to get it, but you keep getting it month after month. So to dominate a market, you want to do pay per lead. Yes, you want to be tapping into all those lead resources that are out there, but you don't want to rely on just one thing alone. You don't want to sleep on organic and SEO. You don't want to sleep on Google Maps. There's more to it than just running a paid search or upping your ad budget. Give me a yes in the comments if that makes sense at all to you guys. So I'm going to talk about some of the changes, just because, this is constantly changing and evolving. But then, we're going to dive into the how-to and really what you want to do to get ranked really well. The changes over the last, let's call it 3 to 5 years, is map results dropped from 7 on the first page to 3, hence the industry terms local map pack or local 3-pack. Google's now serving paid ads in the map results. Now, if there's anybody here in this workshop that doesn't know that, this is very important for you to know. You can not only purchase pay-per-click, in other words, be at the very top of the search results through pay-per-click, you can also be in the top of the map results. Google local service ads are being tested in California and Florida. And this is how the page has changed over the years. The search results may vary, but the format is LSA, PPC, map pack, and then the organic rankings. So Google got another paid ad platform stuck at the top of the page called LSA. Right now, it is the best bang for the buck for paid ads. So just thought I'd throw that in there. You don't want to sleep on local service ads. I would say claim your local service or set up your local service ads account. The average cost per lead is manageable, and there's lots of leads coming in through this channel. And the big trend that we've seen is that Google has significantly reduced the number of map listings over the last couple of years, which is actually, it's good for you guys. And it's really a function that they're trying to clean up spam. They're trying to clean up the auto repair companies that set up a bunch of fake listings just for the sake of ranking on Google Maps. And so I'm going to talk about some of the things that could be hurting you. Pay attention to this because they're really cracking down on this whole fake listing play. Things that may have actually really worked well in the past could actually be hurting you. And number one, you need a listing in the real city that you're trying to rank in. So it's going to be hard for you to rank outside the city that you're in, right? You have to have a physical location in that city that you're targeting. Many have tried spam listings in the past, which is claiming Google Map listings in the surrounding. Many have tried spam listings in the past, and we highly advise against this. So they'd go to their aunt's house or they'd go to their cousin's house or their cousin's office and set up a map listing there. So they had 5 or 6 different locations around the area on Google Maps that worked really well around 2010-ish. But as of today, that doesn't fly. So what you want to do is make sure that you've cleaned up any of those fake listings because they'll actually bring you down, bring your rankings down, and it'll prevent you from getting a true listing and ranking well. The other thing that could be hurting you is inconsistency in your name, address, and phone number, aka your NAP profile. I don't know if you ever heard that term before, NAP. It's name, address, phone number. You want to make sure that you're in all of the major online directory listings, but in some cases, you get listed as one company name on Google, but you get listed as a different company name on a different directory. And so Google scans the web and it's looking for consistency. There's not a lot of consistency in your thumbprint, so it's not good for you. And so you just want to make sure that you've got consistency in the reference to your name, your address, and your phone number across the web. Google used to put a lot of emphasis on the directories back a long time ago, not as much today, but it is still 6 or 7% of your total SEO rankings. You want to make sure that you're not spamming your company name, you're not spamming your categories in the Google business listings. This can work for other type of businesses, but not auto repair shops, as people will click on the map link and if they're not taken to your shop, but to a virtual address, it's disastrous. So I think a lot of shops figured that out a long time ago. The whole thing was to get the digital marketing company that knows what they're doing that could move the needle and help you set goals from the very beginning and show you how to work backwards from there to accomplish your goals. That was in that first workshop that we did in January. So virtual offices like Regis, a post office box, a mailboxes, etc. Google's flagged all those types of locations and is counter to what Google's trying to do. They want to service local businesses in the true local service area. The other thing that could be holding you back is not having enough reviews. Having more reviews than your competition is one of the critical ranking factors. I'm going to unpack our proven model. This isn't super fancy stuff, but it works extremely well, as you've seen in the examples that I've showed. As we walk through this, the first thing that we want to do is we want to claim and optimize our Google Business Profile. This is a free service from Google. You want to go to Google Business Profile, which used to be called Google My Business, and you can claim your listing. And from there, you've got lots of little things that you can optimize, like your images, your name, the categories that you're in, your service area, services that you provide. They have recently changed the dashboard for the better for businesses because now you can actually link to web pages from Google Business Profile. And if any of you know anything about SEO, content is king, backlinks is queen. You want to make sure that you've claimed and fully optimized your Google Business Profile listing. So that's the first thing. And by the way, less than 3% of businesses have a fully optimized Google Business Profile. Second thing you want to do is have lots of web references through the major online directories, which provide references to your company's name, address, and phone number on all the public sites, the important ones anyway, across the internet. There are hundreds of these, actually thousands of these types of sites, but you want to be listed in those sites with the same name, address, and phone number, providing consistency all across the web. That way, Google says, okay, this company's on Google Maps, but they're also listed in all these other different places across the web. This really helps affect your local SEO. Number 3 is you want reviews, right? You want to have real reviews from real customers in your true service area. I would say all other things being equal, if you're there and your competition is there as well, and they've claimed their listing, and they've optimized it, and they've got a lot of citations, they're on a lot of directories, and you've got lots of citations, the shop that has the most legitimate reviews from real customers on Google and on other public review sites is going to win the day. We see it again and again. Obviously, you want to be providing great service. You want to leverage automation to get reviews from real customers in your real service area. I'm going to be sharing some of the tools to help you with this as we go. So the formula is claiming the listing, optimize it correctly, get lots of directories and citation listings, and then build up your public review on public sites. And then number 4 is proper on-page optimization. It's making sure that your website is optimized for the cities, for the services, and for the service area that you serve. Simple stuff, actually. We'll dive into this as we go. But these are the key things. These are the key elements that drive rankings and Google results on maps. If anybody has a question anytime, go ahead and toss it in. Be whatever of your time, cognizant of your time, respectful of your time. I want to go through this and get you this information. I want to try to keep it 45 minutes or under, okay? All right, so the first part I talked about there was claiming your Google Business Profile. You must know what your Google Business login information is. We still get clients all the time. They're like, they don't know what their login information is. It's kind of important that you have that. Whether you're working with us or you're working with another company or you did it yourself, you must have your login credentials so you can log into your Google Business Profile and you can see how it's set up. You can see what photos are being used. You can see what questions people are asking. You can see and respond to your reviews. You want to have access to this. So that's kind of step 1. How do you log into your Google Business Profile? 2 is you want to make sure that your name as it exists on your Google Business Profile is your actual company name. Adding keywords to your company name is black hat SEO technique, and it'll get you de-indexed from Google. Okay? So Bob's Auto Repair Cleveland. So we've seen people put the major keyword in after their name on their Google Business Profile, and usually a competitor, or it's a digital marketing agency, will report it to Google and they'll de-index that particular website. So don't try it. They don't like that. It does work very, very well. It'll put you into the Google Map Pack like right away. But I think they actually check and verify it all now. So if you try changing your business name, it used to work. It doesn't fly anymore. All right. So don't play games with Google. That's the bottom line. And try to stuff additional keywords into your company name. Unless you change your company name legally and you've got it listed that way across the web, I don't recommend it. All right. Jody asked, if you have multiple locations, should you include the name of the city as part of your business name? No, you are one company in multiple different locations. We can show you exactly how you can do that. Oh, if you have a location in each city, no, you do not put it in the name. Jody, it's geolocation. It's so whatever city that you're in, as long as you've got a verified Google Business Profile in that city, that's all you need to do, okay? Because when someone searches for an auto repair in that city, since you have an actual physical location in that city, then you have the chance on getting in the local map pack, all right? Be sure to add your web address, by the way. This will create an important inbound link to your domain. Next, use a local number. Do not use an 800 number. This is, we still see this mistake consistently where people are using an 800 number. We use a call tracking number on every single one of our clients' Google Business Profiles, so we know exactly how many phone calls are coming in. Next thing that you want to do, your customers want to deal with a local business. So the whole idea behind the Google Maps is that they're looking for someone right in their neighborhood so they can call on them. So don't use an 800 number. Use a real local number, a local address. Don't use the post office boxes. Don't use the UPS store. Don't use a Regis. These types of locations can actually cause, these type of locations will cause problems as it relates to optimization and frustrated consumers that click on maps and go to a UPS store instead of your shop. You do want to upload as many photos as you can and try to use authenticity. Don't use stock imagery here. Use real photos of your techs, staff, real pictures of your shop. So instead of uploading just an image, you want to put your logo on it and you want to attach keywords to it. So now you've got keywords in the image that's being uploaded onto your Google profile. Big mistake that we see DIYers out there is they just throw photos up on their Google business profile. Does you absolutely no good unless you tag them with keywords and put your logo on them, etc. These little things that I'm talking about actually make a big difference in the way Google sees images and what's on your site. Remember, Google is a computer. It can't see images. It can only see text. I say, obviously, make sure that you list your hours of operation and the areas that you serve. This is Google Business Profile. You've got a dashboard here, and this is the new dashboard. This was completely changed some months ago. So this is where you're going to do some of the basic optimization that I'm talking about. You've got insights where you can see who's getting to your site. How many views did you get? How many calls are actually coming in from mobile, click to call? The mobile click to call is a really important number to keep track of every month. You've got reviews where you can see all the reviews and you can respond to those reviews. You've got messaging where you can communicate back and forth with people. If you've got that enabled where someone can communicate with you, and then you've got photos. You want to make sure that you've got access to this so that you can double check some of these settings. You want to make sure that your listing is verified. This is very important. And then you want to upload those photos, pictures of your team, pictures of your shop. You do that by clicking the Photos tab and then clicking on that little image icon. A best practice would be to save the photos, name them with your city and your service area and your company name, and then upload them with your logo on them to Google Maps. People don't realize to just upload photos, you've got to put information on that photo when you upload it. Then if you click on the Performance tab, that tab right there, you'll see how many people are accessing your Google Business Profile and how many calls are coming in from your Google Business Profile. So for this client, if they click to call business, Google tracks that as an action. And so that's where you're able to track the actual click to calls that are coming in directly from your Google Business listing. One other things that you can do from a Google Business perspective is update the photos on a consistent basis. We see this really consistently. People throw some photos up and then that's it. Everything, which is why a digital marketing agency is so important to an auto repair shop or any competitive business, is because of the consistency in what is done every month. Adding blogs, adding links, et cetera, adding 2 or 3 photos per month just to keep fresh content, fresh rotation happening on your Google Business Profile is a very good idea. Also, leverage Google Posts. A lot of people don't even know to do this. Google gives you the ability to create posts, which could be updates that are happening with your business. It could be special offers or incentives. Very, very few shops post on their profiles. We repurpose our clients' blogs and we create snippets for our clients on Google Business Profile. Google loves Google. So talk about getting a leg up on your competition. We post to our clients' Google Business Profile 2 to 4 times a month. And I think these things rotate out every 90 days. So like 3 months later, they disappear. So you do want to make sure that you're updating Google posts consistently. Okay, Taryn, it sounds like you're on top of things 2 to 5 times weekly. That is awesome. Less than 3% of shops post to their Google Business Profile. So you're one of those 3%. And I think 2 of those 3%, Taryn, I think they have digital marketing agencies do it for them. So you're probably in the top 1%. Oh, and by the way, didn't you mention earlier in this workshop that you're already in the Google Business Profile? Yep. Surprise, surprise. Are you listed number 1? You're in an SEO class. Awesome. Okay, so there's someone taking decisive action on their digital marketing. All of the shops that we see that focus on digital are the ones that we see growing and expanding. There's so many things to take care of with a shop. There's so many distractions. There's so many things, so many moving parts to a successful shop. But you know what? It's so much easier when you have more money coming in. And the number one way they get more money is through referrals and through the internet. Anyway, so the other thing that you're going to want to do is not just get the review, okay? You want to respond to it. Okay, the good reviews and the bad. Hopefully, you don't get a lot of bad reviews. We have a reviews gathering program that prevents it. Bad reviews don't even make it to our clients on the web. But, no one likes bad reviews, but it does happen. Anybody can just go onto your Google Business Profile and leave a review. We're going to get some bad reviews every now and then. No way around it. The important thing is that we respond. And this is very, very important. And that you respond. I have videos on the right way to respond. You don't want to get into a tit for tat on Google Business Profile. I promise we have a proven method that really works well. The best way to avoid negative reviews is to make sure that they never end up on the web in the first place. Like I said, we got a program that does that. We use a reviews gathering program that provides a straight face, a frown, and a smile. And if the customer chooses the straight face or the frown, what looks exactly like a Google reviews box with the 5-star above it, they're not actually filling out a Google reviews box. It goes directly to your email or to your email of choice. If they click the smiley face, it is actually the Google reviews and stars and comments box, and it posts directly to Google or whatever reviews platform that you want. This way you avoid the negative reviews and you're able to deal with them before they ever even make it to the web. And I suggest that you use a reviews gathering program like that. Now, this isn't going to, like I said, it's not going to stop someone from going to your Google reviews profile and leaving a review, but it will stop the customers that you send a review request to from leaving a bad review. And if you're not using a reviews gathering software program, here are the statistics. Shops that use one are 303% more successful in getting reviews than shops that just ask a customer, hey, would you leave a review? Yeah, sure, bye. As soon as they walk out the door, that's it. So you guys are running a shop. You don't have time to be doing all this follow-up, making sure that you get to reviews. That's why a computer program needs to do it for you. Give me a one in the comments if this makes sense to you. And also, if you'd like more reviews about our reviews gathering program, just type in reviews in the chat. Here is a tip that very few people know in the industry. This may be worth your time on this workshop altogether. You can be creative trying to get them to write keywords in your review. Now, most people don't know this, but if the actual keyword is in the review, Google sees it. So if you have a good customer, ask them to type in something to the effect of, Joe's is the best auto repair shop in Cleveland. Best auto repair shop Cleveland. Best repair shop Cleveland. Do you see how many keywords are just in that one little teeny sentence into their review? And now you have those keywords in your review. Now, you can't control what the customer types in unless they're friends or you got a really good rapport with them. But here's the other side to this little trick. When you respond to the reviews, you can type keywords into the review. Okay? So, hey, thank you for your kind review. We've tried to be the best auto repair shop in blank since we've been in business. Whatever, be creative. But your top search terms are always usually industry, city, industry. All right, the other cool thing that a lot of people don't take advantage of is questions and answers. People can ask questions right within your Google Business Profile. Obviously, if they ask questions, you want to respond to those. But something that we're testing out, and I think it's a good idea that you guys might want to think about, is seeding some of your own questions, right? Like what services do you offer? Oh, we do brakes, we do AC, we do this, we do the other. What areas do you serve? We serve this city, that city, boom, boom, boom. Come up with like 3 to 5 or 6 questions or 10 questions and place them in your Google Business listing. The questions you guys get answered all the time, you're always asked all the time. Get those in your Google Business Profile also. By the way, less than, I think it's 3.5% or 2.4% of businesses have a fully optimized Google Business Profile. So this is a great way, again, to give more context to your Google Business listing. Get yourself ranked in a wider area for more of your keywords that are, the most important to you. You get with your digital marketing agency to find out what those are. Don't guess what your keywords are. Guessing costs a lot of money. I'm hoping that you can see that maximizing your Google Business Profile 100% will give you a serious advantage over your competitors. Very few shops, like I said, I think it's less than 3% have a fully maximized Google Business Profile listing. So that's step one. We want to claim and optimize our Google Business listing. See, Terrence, do you know of a way to encourage people to ask questions? Good question. I'd have to run that one by my team. I like that. You got some good questions here. Step number 2 is we want to build up those citations. We want to build up the references of our company's name, address, and phone number across the internet. And there's like 3 critical parts of this. More is better. We want lots of citations. We want the main ones like Google, Apple, Yahoo, a MapQuest, et cetera, the ones that everyone knows. But we also want the second tier directories, the ones that might not come up to the top, of your head. There are literally thousands of online directories, and there's prominent ones. We always focus on the top 150 domain authority directories for all of our clients. That's what we get them started with, is the 150. But then you got the local directories, local to your service area. You want to be in those. And then there are industry specific directories. There are all kinds of directories out there. You want to be listed in those. You want more citations. Over time, like I said, we put our clients on 150, and then we focus on the industry-specific ones. And by the way, those industry-specific ones are the ones that move the needle the most. Okay, I got a list of them coming up here in this workshop in a few minutes. Number 3 is you want to make sure that you've got the consistency. I don't want to repeat too much. We decide in advance what your company name is going to be, what's going to be your address. How's that address going to be listed? Is it going to be Southwest spelled out, or is it just going to be SW? Just decide what that is going to look like across the internet, and then your phone number, that local phone number. You want to use the same phone number, and I do recommend using a tracking number. That way you can track the number of calls coming in across the web from those citations. So whoever said that they had multiple locations, you really want to make sure you have a local phone number for each location. Okay, and that there's a tracking tag on it so you can track every single phone call that comes in. Number one is not to have a dozen numbers, not a different number for each of the different listings that you have. It's one number across all of them. And then number four is we want to limit duplication and invalid information. This is a big gotcha. Like if you get listed 3 times on Google with slight differences in your company name or slight differences in your address, it's going to cause problems. If you've got lots of duplicate listings with fragmented information about you or your company on those second tier and third tier directory sites, it's going to have a negative impact on your ability to rank. So let me toss this in also. I should have put this in this workshop. You don't have to do anything to get on these directories. If you pay an electric bill, people sell information, like companies sell your information to any Tom, Dick, or Harry that comes along, okay? And then this information gets out there on the web. That's why it's really good that you have either someone on your staff that's dedicated to just this, so they can make sure, because this is one of an important ranking factor for local SEO and for Google Map Packs. So you've got to really take a look at a report and see where you're at right now. It's really important. By the way, I got a free place that you can do that with. We found a good link. It's on through Bright Local. I'll give you that link in here in just a couple minutes. So we want to have lots of listings, but we also want to be consistent with how we're referenced. And like I said, the ones that you didn't actually get listed on yourself by purpose, you were listed by default. Those are the ones 99.9% of the time that have problems and the inconsistencies in them. So you don't have to do anything, and you can get all kinds of inconsistencies in directories on the internet, and you don't even know it, unless you run a report and take a look. So how would you like a shortcut on how to make this just a little easier? Like obviously going to hundreds of directories and putting in your name, address, and phone number is a little bit complicated and very time consuming. Just put shortcut in the chat if you'd like some shortcuts, okay? Ways to automate this a little bit, make this a little bit easier. Okay, good. I got a shortcut. All right, no problem. All right, so one shortcut is to add yourself to the main data aggregators. So I don't think I have a link to this page. So if you want to take your phone, take a picture of this page. There's 5 of them, and there's citation services, and then there's direct data aggregators. What you're looking at are the 5 major data aggregators. And data aggregators are the sites that basically house business information and a lot of times personal information, like the contact details of the business or even individuals. And they push that out to lots and lots of sites, Google, Yelp, Angie's, you name it. So the 5 main ones are Foursquare, Data Axle, Newstar, YP Network, which is Yellow Page Network, and then GPS Network. If you want to be in control of your company's name, address, and phone number and how it's being distributed across the internet, you want to make sure that you're on all 5 of these data aggregators, and you need to renew them every single year. Okay. Whoever it is that you work with has put you into these data aggregators and has control to say, no, that's not your company name. That's not your valid email address. That's not how you want to be referenced on the internet. Make sure that you have control of this, okay? All the other directories require manual updating. These 5, you enter your information in, and they push out the information to hundreds of other directories. Now, if you haven't claimed your data aggregators, there's a cost associated with these. And like I said, you need to update it. You need to renew it annually. If you haven't properly set these up and control of what's being listed on them, your information is going to be incorrect across the web. We've never had a person that come to us that they didn't have incorrect information across the web. If your information is incorrect across the web, it's going to spawn what they call duplicates. It's going to spawn incorrect listings. It's going to spawn fragmentation, which will ultimately result in poor Google Map ranking. So give me a 1 if this makes sense to you, or if this is new. Give me a 1 if this is new information for you, for being on these data aggregators. This one's really, really important. Now, some really cool citation tools that'll help you with this process. I recommend, again, claim yourself in the data aggregators, spend the money, or invest in a company like ours or the one that you're currently working with. In fact, if the one you're currently working with hasn't given you this information, we suggest you do some research. You want to get this dialed in and invest on your behalf. There's tools that will push you out to the most important directories. Some ask about Yext, and I know they're like the 500-pound gorilla in this space, and not everybody loves Yext, including me. If you haven't heard of Yext, let me warn you, you have to pay them $1,000 a year for the rest of your life. If you ever leave Yext, they will revert you back to day one. So you can be with them for 10 years, pay them 10 grand, and you say, I'm not going to use you guys anymore. They will take you back 10 years ago and they will put you right exactly where you were at. Don't do it. It needs to be done manually. Okay. You need to be in control of this. You need to be doing these directories manually. All of the directories, if we have our clients on 300 different directories, they all have the same username and password for all 300. Okay, so you have control of that. Either build your own list, or you can use Bright Local or White Spark. And you need to learn the software. It's a new software program, and set up your account. They'll also help you with the data aggregators, and they'll help you find additional directory sources. Just a word of warning here: they charge for each directory listing, and they don't do any follow-up. You have to do the follow-up. So in other words, they do the super stupidly simple stuff, and then if there's any follow-up to get the directory to go live. Because going onto a directory, entering your name, address, and phone number, that's just the start. And then you got to make sure that it goes live. And that's where the babysitting comes involved in. So if you've got the time to do that, have at it. This will help, by the way, with your whole citation play. It'll help you find inconsistencies. It'll help you find third tier or second tier listings that you can add yourself to. Again, is going to help you in your directory listings. I try to get technical. The fact is, you want to get this done and you want to optimize your opportunities to rank in Google Maps. These are the things you want to think about and you want to know about. And you can choose to run down this path on your own, or you can hire a company like ours, or get with your current company. Just get it done. I got a free resource here. Go to this is Bright Local. Go to that link and type in the name of your business. It'll find your Google Business Profile listing, and it'll do a scan, and it'll give you a health score. If your score is below 85, call us or call another company. Okay? 85 is a B+. You want to be in the 90s, but you guys know how it works. You remember when you went to school. This program, what it'll do, it'll scan the internet, and it'll tell you how inconsistent or consistent you are on your listings. So it's a free way to get an audit of how you're sitting in the listings. And sometimes this is a problem, sometimes it's not, but you do want to know about it. Okay, so go ahead and use that resource. All right, now citation best practices here, the key things that we want to take away from this workshop: manually claim your Google Business listing. There are just a few that we recommend that you be sure to get your shop on. But if you really want a full comprehensive list, you can go to autorepairseo.com citations. Here you will have a more comprehensive list. Now, I forgot how many are on there. I forgot what we're up to, like 75 or something. But if you go to that link, all 75 that we recommend that you get on, there's a link to those directories, every single one of them. If you have the time to sit at the computer and figure out how to form your own account and everything, go to that link. And there's a whole bunch of them on there you can get started with. Okay, so back to reviews really quick. After the service is completed, say it was great to serve you today. Thank you. We really appreciate your business. Just so you know, you're going to get a review request here in a couple of minutes on your cell phone. We always train all of our shops to do this because we set a goal. How many reviews are we going to be getting each month this month? We set those goals, and then we meet each month with our clients to make sure to see where we're at, either up, down, or right on target. Just tell them, hey, it would mean a lot to us if you could click that review button. So there's two types of reviews you want to get: when they're standing right there in the shop, and then you want to have the reviews automation. So if they don't leave the review in front of your CSR, then make sure that they get that review platform. If there's one thing I found that has a bigger impact than anything in our clients' ability to get online reviews, it's that they baked this into their company culture. Which means when you meet with your employees, your team, on a weekly or monthly basis, your monthly huddles, whatever you guys do, you're teaching them, you're training them, you're bringing them up to speed on what's going on. In your meetings, announce what the review's goal for the month was, and and where you're at and what your average star rating is. You really got to bring this to the forefront. So most shops do have a monthly or weekly huddle, some of them call it, and this is an important part of your huddle. And if you do that and you make that a part of the way that you operate, you're going to get more reviews, and it's going to be more consistent. And of course, your clients are going to be getting a better experience as well. Once again, auto repair shops that are using a reviews gathering software program, like we have Auto Shop AMP, that automates the entire review gathering process. It helps you get a lot more reviews. Remember, statistics show a 300% increase in reviews from shops that use an automated review gathering program. And then, like I said, ours has a system built in that keeps negative reviews from ever making it to the web in the first place. If you get a person who's unhappy, it goes into your inbox. So once again, if you're interested in that, just type in reviews platform in the chat and we'll get back to you on that. Okay. If you took away one or two things, maybe just in the way that you think about reviews or in kind of what you could do to generate more reviews from your clients that we talked about here, I hope this has helped. All right. A reviews gathering automation software program will skyrocket the amount of people that you get, 303%. Please keep this in mind. Whether you use ours, use somebody's, okay? It's very, very, very successful. The research, they've proven again and again and again. This research came in, I think, about 6 months ago, where they researched over, I think it was 5,000 companies. And the ones that used the review gathering program had 303% more reviews. It was a pretty big research that they did. Here's your hot tip for the day. Getting your customers to infuse their reviews with keywords can be challenging, but it is one of the most effective ways of getting ranked in Google Maps fast. Instead of you using black hat, like trying to put a keyword in your company name on your Google business profile, which does work exceedingly well if you can slick it past Google for a while, they will de-index you. So if you got any really good customers or friends, ask them to put those keywords in their review. But if you're consistently responding to the reviews as they come in with intelligent responses that also infuse your keywords, you're going to have a better footprint across the internet. And this one thing alone can beat your competitors and get you ranked in the local map pack. And if you're in the map pack now and you're ranked number 3 or number 2, well, guess where you want to be? Number 1. And do you want to be number 1 for one of your keywords or all of your keywords? So obviously, you know the answer to that one. Give me a 1 in the comments if this makes sense. If you're like clear, I could tap into that 10 times advantage. Okay. So don't sleep on that. I promise you, this one thing and this workshop can make the biggest difference. Okay, so step 1 is we want to make sure that we've claimed and optimized Google Business Listings. Step 2, we want to have lots of citations and consistency in our name, address, and phone number. 3, we want to have lots of Google reviews, get lots of reviews by using an automated program that'll stop the negative reviews from making it to the web in the first place. 4, you want to, build authoritative links back to your website from other websites. And as I said in the beginning of the workshop, I have training that unpacks what you need to do on your website in order to make sure that it's optimized for the search engines. I'm going to give you a very brief overview of this, okay? If you want more details on SEO and how to optimize your website, the content on your site, the links, the citations, definitely reach out to us. We can provide you an analysis of your online visibility. We can do a custom keyword list for you. We're going to give you a keyword list here in a minute, by the way. It's a free resource, so you can get a look at what the most searched for keywords are in your industry nationwide. We can provide you a rankings report to show you exactly where you're currently ranking. We can give you a report of where you're at currently with your online directories and listings. Also, I'll take a look at your reviews and your social media presence, and then what is your website's conversion rate? What is your website's current effective conversion rate? Just go to autorepairseo.com schedule, pick a time that's convenient for your calendar, and we'll do what we call a discovery call. We're not a fit for all companies, so we do the quick discovery call to see if we, are a good fit for each other. That's how we do it anyway. So we want to optimize our keywords into the title tags and the H1 tags and the meta descriptions. And if you don't understand what I just said, set up the discovery call and we'll make sure that you understand it. It's not difficult once it's explained to you and you understand its importance. Want to make sure to get that name, address, phone number in the footer of your website. You want to make sure that we're putting out new content on a consistent basis, putting out blog updates, making sure those blog updates are syndicated and pushed out to, 5, 10, 15 different social media platforms. We use 10. You want to make sure that the website loads quickly. This actually does have a huge impact on your Google business rankings as well. Websites need to load in less than 3 seconds or less. If you'd like to find out how many seconds your website loads, we can give you a report and show you. And then remember, 3 seconds or less on mobile. If your website is not loading in 3 seconds or less, it is affecting your rankings, guaranteed. We're in a mobile world. And then, of course, we can't sleep on off-page factors like what's happening off the website that has an impact as well, like building up links, having a strategic approach to syndicate the content. I'm not going to go deep here, but we've rolled out something over the last 24 months that's made a huge impact on our ability to get clients ranked is signal generation, which is basically taking, the blogs that we create, and instead of just having them on the website, that we syndicate that to local news sites, all the social media sites, Google Business Profile, sends massive amounts of signals back to that particular website. So when someone does a search for an auto repair shop in your city, Google sees all these signals. Okay, another free resource I've got for you, the ultimate internet marketing checklist for automotive repair and service companies. This is a comprehensive checklist, and I want to give you guys access to it. We've analyzed hundreds of companies over a 1 year period. Some of them have 6 to 12 locations, all the way up to the one that we researched has 270 locations. Many of you know who I'm talking about. What do they all have in common as far as their website and digital marketing is concerned? It's on this list. All you got to do is download it, go over it, just check off everything that you know that you've got nailed down. Anything that you can't check off here, guess what? That's your to-do list for your digital marketing for your shop. So I'm going to hand it to you on a silver platter. Go and download that. Give me one in the comments if you think this will benefit your shop. James got a 1. Anybody else think this might help them? Bonnie, thanks. Anybody else think this list might give them a little help? Take this list, download it, and put it on your desktop. And so that's it. I've given you examples. I've given you real world case studies. I've given you step-by-step that this is exactly what you need to do on your website, on your Google to rank really well. Hopefully you've got what you need. I'm going to give you the link to the checklist here in a second. Oh, we already got it. If you're like most auto repair companies, you like to understand how this works. You've tried it, but you've been through the ringer. You've hired one of these companies that promised to get your results on the internet, on Google specifically, and it didn't work. And maybe you hired the kid next door, or maybe you tried to do this stuff yourself, but you just haven't gotten the results. So what I want to do is offer you a free evaluation. I mentioned it earlier, because let's face it, you shouldn't be doing this yourself. Most of you guys will agree that you shouldn't be doing this stuff. You need to understand how it works. We're truly in the education business, and any digital marketing company that you work with, that should be their focus. You need to understand on why it's working currently, but ultimately you need to find somebody that can do this for you, somebody that can understand how to claim, manage, and optimize, that has proven results. Our staff of 26, there's 11 different departments to get this right, and they all got to work in unison. So same thing with the shop. How many things do you guys got to get to do to run a successful auto repair shop? How many different moving parts have all got to click together? So to get the most out of our time together, I would like to encourage you to do that discovery session with us. Like I said, we don't work with every shop. We do a quick discovery call to see what your goals are and whether we feel we can help. And if we can, we'll schedule a deep dive, a digital strategy. Now, that deep dive digital strategy, we take your top 2 to 3 competitors and compare your digital presence to theirs. So talk about being enlightened. You will know more about your competitor's web presence than they do, guaranteed. And by the way, before you get with any digital marketing company, they should do that competitor analysis so you see everything: blogs, backlinks, domain authority, how many referring domains, et cetera, et cetera. We're also going to run a keyword list for you and show you exactly what the most important keywords are and how you're ranking on Google and Bing. And then we'll walk you through the entire good or bad or indifferent. We will show you what you're doing well and where there's room for improvement, if any. We only work with one company in each major market. If you happen to be in one of the markets that we already have a client, unfortunately, we will not be able to work with you. That's just the way it is. Anyway, so go ahead and apply for the strategy session. And then if you'd like the guide to Google Maps, there's a marketing checklist. Everything that we went over in this workshop is on that checklist. So if you want to download that checklist, you'll have it there. Someone asked, can we get a recording of this? It's a bit information, David. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. These do take a long time for me to put together, and I want to put as much information in them as I can. And yes, all the participants that registered for this workshop will get a replay page. You'll get a link. It'll be next week because it takes us a while to edit this, but you'll get a replay link where you can go over it at your leisure and you can focus on these one at a time. But David, Bonnie, everybody that's in this, we got quite a few in this particular workshop. Please download these free resources. It really took us a long time to get this put together, especially that digital marketing checklist. It's a phenomenal checklist. Oh, by the way, yeah, let's go ahead to that one too. If you want that ultimate checklist, which will walk you through all the things that the fastest growing companies, the fastest growing auto repair shops in North America are utilizing, go to that checklist and get that. I'd love to hear what some of your takeaways, what are some of the things that you took away from this session? You can either unmute yourself or just put it in chat. If there's anything that you specifically got out of this, I'd really appreciate it. David, a big thank you. Fascinating and scary. So a little behind the SEO game. Look, hey, David or anybody else listening, me trying to do my job and run an auto repair shop would be like me coming to your shop and trying to run your auto repair shop. You trying to do your digital marketing is like you, the owner of your shop, coming and I'll switch seats with you. You run my company. So we both have really a lot of moving parts type business. So I can't emphasize enough the information we get from our mastermind group that we're able to bring to our clients. It's absolutely worth every penny that we invest. So if you have follow-up questions, it's been a pleasure. I do thank you very much for you taking your time, and I hope you got value out of today's sessions. If you have any follow-up questions, feel free to reach out to me. If you'd like to schedule a time, go to Auto Repair SEO Schedule. If there's any of the resources I talked about today that you'd like to go back and reference, feel free to reach out. We've got the links for you. If you want those links to the first 3 workshops, okay, send me an email to info@autorepairseo.com. info@autorepairseo.com. Please take a moment and give me a rating from a scale of 1 to 10. I've just added this to my workshops. 1 being this was a terrible waste of your time, and 10 being that we over-delivered, you got value, and that you enjoyed it. Just so I can get a sense of, am I too technical? Am I not technical enough? All right, so what do we got? 8 out of 10. Taryn, awesome. James, 9 out of 10. Anybody else give me a rating here? Oh, wow. Really? Okay. 8s. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Hey, thanks a lot. Thank you so much for your time. Have an amazing afternoon. You will get the replay link to this workshop. And if you schedule a discovery session with us, a discovery call, I can guarantee you, whether we do business or not, you'll walk away with information that you'll find helpful. That's what we're in business to do, is to provide value. Thanks. Have a great day. And I hope to talk to you soon.